I want to show you how to incorporate switches into your model, like the physical inclusion. We have a lot of different types of switches. Here's one, here's another type. There's different styles. And depending on which one you're going to use, you're going to want to do it differently. This one has a pretty wide opening and it has a bracket like that. So what you could do is poke a hole, say in your cardboard. Obviously that's not going to work, so you'd want to make it a little bit bigger. And honestly, the drill might be the best tool for this. For like a quick and easy method, I'm just like figuring it there. I've got it plugged in place there. I'm gonna maybe want to trim some of this extra cardboard, and then I'll screw it in with what it comes with, the washer here. And once you've screwed that in, it's not going anywhere. And then you can, once you do that, you can solder it. This is harder than it looks with the camera in the way. But once you get it nicely fixed, you can solder it, and then you've got your nice push button on one side and the wires can be on the back. The other type of switch is this one. And I guess for this, what you want to do is cut a rectangular piece into your cardboard. And so you can measure this. We have rulers for this. You know, you can say this is about, what, 12 inches? Certainly it's got to be less than 15 inches, right? Because that's how big the top lip is. And then the sides you would say is like, what? No, it has to be smaller than 2 centimeters. Another way to do it is to use something called calipers. You'll find these in a drawer in the back on the island. But basically, it's a really easy way to measure things. You just put, as long as it's zeroed when it's closed. See, right now it's not zeroed. I can zero it. And then I can just measure whatever I want to measure. This is just under 12 millimeters. And this is just under 15. So maybe if I make my cut, I make a rectangle that has a width of about 12 centimeters and make this about, this says 18. I certainly want it to be less than 2 centimeters, 2 millimeters. So I take my object and then I get my ruler and I actually measure this, right? So I want it to be, what did I say? I said about 12 millimeters. So like around that distance. 12, and then this side we're gonna make it about just under 2 centimeters, so maybe like that. Okay, so then I can actually go in there with my box cutter and cut that. I've only really identified 2 of them. Hopefully you'll be doing this a little more carefully. Just want to show you quickly for this video. I would cut, and again, craftsmanship matters, so just take your time. You may have to do several cuts, several passes on a single cut, right? But we're gonna get that hole in there. And then, still haven't cut all the way through, so I'm gonna, there we go. All right, and then when I've got that, I'll take my switch, and you can see that it fits. If I've cut it the right size, it fits nicely in that spot. So now I can turn my thing on and off. I can solder the back side. So let's just say this is my model. Let's see, I want to put it in the other way. So I'm going to put my switch in there. And now let's say I want to put an LED on this side, right? So now I can use something called an LED holder, which is these things. These come in 3 parts. There's the holder for the legs, the holder for the actual bulb, and then the part that sort of fixes it in place. I would recommend using a drill for this and clamps, but for a very quick way to do it, if I wanted to just put one LED, I can use a screwdriver and then maybe make it a little bit bigger. I've got my needle nose pliers here. Make it a little bit bigger. And this is going to go in there. Whoop, that didn't work. So make it a little bit bigger. And then if you make it too big, you'll be in trouble. But this looks like about the right length. Then what you want to do is get your LED and stick the legs in. to the holder. So I'm going to find the right space for the holder there. Okay, so you see that they go through the legs, and then I'm going to place them into that, and this just sort of holds it in place kind of nicely. Put it in there, brace it in, and now I can get this part and screw it in so that it's not going to go anywhere. Okay. So now I've got my wires, my legs of my LED on the back here that I can wire everything into place, glue it, or tape it, or whatever I want to do. And now I've got the makings of a light, right? I can turn it on and off here, and then my wires would go in here. And looking at the other video, hopefully you've learned how to shrink wrap something. So that's how you can make a circuit. So ask questions and tinker, okay?